and people from being hired or from hiring illegal immigrants, illegal aliens? And it starts with Mr. Banks.
That's a great question about illegal immigration. If you couldn't hear the question, I believe that in order to receive state services, you need to show a state-issued ID to receive whether it's welfare or any service that you might receive from state government. I think that's the first place that we should start, is demanding that in order to receive the different Indiana state government services, that in order to be a legal resident, you've got to have a state-issued ID and present that to receive the service by the state. We also probably need to add more teeth to our law to make sure that when we go after, there's a fine line here to balance. We need to make sure that we do put some teeth behind the law to go after those who knowingly hire illegal immigrants. So we need to be careful not to penalize those who don't know they're hiring illegal immigrants in their business. And we need to find that fine line and go after those who do it knowingly. And I would support strengthening our state law in order to do that.
Deductions on their paycheck right off the bat. Don't let them take all of the deductions and get all that money up front. Make them come back and fill out a tax return if that's what they're going to do, so that we can maybe have that money back in the state if they don't want to fill out a tax return, and tell us that they have the valid information. Another big issue that I was talking to a gentleman in Warsaw, Indiana this morning with a landscape business is how many people that's unemployed that's coming out and starting business is competing with him. You know, everyone is complaining about the illegal immigrants. We also have some people in Indiana that don't want to work. They want to go work for cash because, you know what? The unemployment is really too easy for them, and it's really hurting some local businesses, and it's putting a strain on their families. So the illegal immigrants, let's take the dollars away from them up front if they're going to come in here. And what would really be nice is if we could get them on a bus and get them back where they came from. Thank you.
The federal government thinking they're going to run this. You know what? The state of Indiana needs to follow the laws they have on the books. Make sure that we're going after them. Make sure that if they're illegal, we need to fine them. If they're working illegally, the employer, like Jim said, the employer may not know, but I'm telling you what, the ones that do know, they need to be penalized for what they're doing. And we need to follow those laws. Do you hear about it? Do you hear about it in the news? There's a major problem here, and we're not making a big enough issue over it. So we need to find them. Like Tom said, some of them need to go. If you didn't do it the right way, you need to go. If you're here the right way, then we'll work with you.
Take more than a minute. I sponsored legislation 2 years ago to require any non-U.S. citizen to only be allowed to take one tax exemption on their payroll taxes, because I found out that many were taking 7, and they were getting a larger paycheck, and then they were not filing state or federal income taxes. And so they just took the money and run. That is in law today. I also support a system called E-Verify that you can get online. I think every employer should be required to E-Verify a citizen when they hire them, so they know if that individual is a U.S. citizen or not a U.S. citizen. It is not the responsibility of the state government or local government to enforce that border. It is the federal government's responsibility. The federal government has passed legislation to build a fence, and it's never been built. The last time I heard, there was about 6 miles of it built. I'm sorry, I talked too slow. Thank you.